And then the 1290, around 1290 is also where we think that Satan's going to be tossed from the heavens and hit the earth. And we kind of talked about this in our Wednesday fellowship too, that we have every 2 weeks. But Christina, do you want to share the star alignments you found with those
Uh,
dates?
ye- yeah, I could do that. So, I went and I did some looking around, and I also spent a little time in Stellarium. And at the time, um, because I wanted to know what was going on, I happened to come across Mud Fossil University, and I don't know how many of you guys know about his work, but Jupiter had come up. And so I went and I watched his video, and um, so the premise is leading up to what I found is what Roger of Mud Fossil University talks about is that everything is biological. Um, Even the planets outside in the firmament, they are a biological entity. And I believe this because we are also compared to stars, right? And we know that the angels are also stars. They are a physical entity, howbeit not in the same reality that we see right now, right? So anyway, Roger was talking about Jupiter and how Jupiter was about to birth again. And I was kind of blown away by this. And so I thought, well, you know what? How about if I go look and see what is going on with Jupiter? So I'm going to share screen, something that I saw. And just basically, I wasn't prepared for what I was going to see. So let me, should I just share this in Stellarium? Would that be better? I think
Sure.
that might be better. All right.
Sure. However you want to do it.
Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up real quick. And I also looked at the time frame that Peter Thiel was talking about, um, August 12th, and there is an alignment there. But I don't know. I don't hold a lot to August 12th, because we know that they say look here while something else is going on at a different time or whatnot. They tend to do that a lot to us. So let me get to where I'm a going here.
While you do that, I'll go ahead and read in Daniel, where
Yes.
you alluded to about, and I think it gives more evidence to what we were talking about last week, right? So that the bride will be spirit. Um, So if you go to Daniel 12, that's where it comes from. And you can read the context, but it's all about the end times. And it says, Michael, the chief of the angels, is so right there it says Michael is the chief of the angels. And remember how we are guessing that Michael took the place of Satan when he fell, because we do believe Satan was of the highest order of the angelic beings, right? So right here it confirms that now Michael has taken his spot. So kind of like Matthias took the spot of Judas. Okay. Michael, the chief of the angels, is the protector of your people, speaking to Daniel. And this is an angel speaking to Daniel, and he will come at a time of terrible suffering the worst in all of history. So I believe he's pointing toward the Great Tribulation. And your people who have their names written in the book of life will be protected. Many of those who lie dead in the ground, so this is speaking of the first resurrection here. Many of those who lie dead in the ground will rise from death. Some of them will be giving eternal life, and others will receive nothing but eternal shame and disgrace. Okay, that would be the great white throne judgment. But everyone who has been wise, kind of a nod to the virgin here, will shine as bright as the sky above, and everyone who has led others to please Elohim will shine forever like the stars. So if you're like the stars, and that's what Christina was alluding to, then, you would be spirit and have a glow like the Father and the Son also. So, Daniel, I now command you to keep the message of this book secret until the end of time, even though many people will go everywhere searching for the knowledge to be found in it. So, and then it goes through to the days, right? The 1335, 1290, and 1260.
Okay. Thank you, Mitzi.
Yeah.
So, I ended up going back to March 4th, which is Purim, I believe. Is that the day after Purim? Is it the second and the third, and then the fourth, it's afterward?
Yeah. So March 4th is 1290. That's the abomination of desolation date.
Okay. So, if you guys want to turn to Revelation chapter 12, I'm going to explain to you what I saw here. And thinking about what Roger was showing us. Okay. So I'm going to hone in. Can you guys see this? Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, you can see Jupiter as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the things that Roger was talking about is that this red storm right here is actually the birth canal of a woman. Okay. And we know that Jupiter also represents Zeus and all of this other junk. Okay. But what he was saying was that it looks like Jupiter is going to birth something out. And that brought me to Revelation 12, 12:1. And a great sign was seen in the heaven, a woman clad with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and her head a crown of 12 stars. Now, this is related to the Revelation 12 signs seen in 2017. Um, and she, being pregnant, cried out in labor and in pain to give birth. Well, now we're here today, okay? And Jupiter, according to what Roger from University is observing, is Jupiter is about to give birth. Okay. And I saw this and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Um, so we've got Jupiter right here in Gemini, but I also saw something else. And so I came over here and I see a dragon. And I know right here it probably just looks, you see this red splotchiness and everything. But the thing is, I can see the eyes. Here's an eye, and then the eye would be on the other side here. These are the nostrils, and this is the mouth right here of the dragon. And as you look, this is the wing right here, and another wing here. and his body going back. So the further away it is, the smaller it becomes. And I'm like, wow, this is the dragon. And it's at the heel of Castor. Well, what's really interesting about Castor is that his name, his name also means Apollo. Can you see that? So up in the upper right, left-hand corner of my screen, Castor is also Apollo.
That's
And
crazy.
it is absolutely crazy. Yes. And so I'm seeing right here Revelation chapter 12 verses 3 and 4. And it says here in verse 4, or wait a minute, let's go to 3 and 4. And another sign was seen in the heaven, and see a great fiery red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on his head. And this would be a representation the of the kings on the earth. But we are seeing the dragon right here. Can you all see it? Does anybody have any questions or whatever, or any comments or whatnot?
No, I can see it. And y'all, we understand how crazy this sounds, but just hang in here with us. It's pretty neat.
And so in verse 4, it says, and his tail draws a third of the stars of the heaven and throws them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman who was about to give birth to devour her child as soon as it was born. So, right here, we are quite literally seeing Jupiter here about to give birth, and we've got the dragon right here on the heel. And what is it that we see back in Genesis chapter 3? It says here in verse 15, and I put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall crush your head, and you shall crush his heel. So I thought it was um, amazing that we see the dragon here on the heel, right? So, trying to think where my thoughts were going because my thoughts were all over the place. Okay. The other part that we were talking about, um, remember during Wednesday's discussion when we were talking about how this event could cause people to rise up, meaning all the furniture rising up, cars, you name it, because we've got an event that is coming. It's a plasma event, and we know that it's coming. And I told you guys that they actually made a commercial showing this. DHS was responsible for creating this commercial that showed an emergency preparedness, and they had partnered up with FEMA. They created this commercial where the people started to float, their furniture started to float, and then boom, everything came back down. This is also depicted in the movie Take Shelter. So for those of you who don't know about that, it is located there. What is really awesome is that I found scripture that talks about this type of event. And it is in Psalms chapter 102, verse 10. And it says here, let's yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll start at 10. Because of your displeasure and your wrath, for you have lifted me up and thrown me down. that sounds to me like the air is getting sucked out and people are being lifted up and then they get thrown back down onto the ground. Um, Verses that go with it is Isaiah 22:17 through 18. So let's go there. And it says, see, Yahuwah is hurling you away, O man, and is firmly grasping you, rolling you up tightly like a ball into a wide land. There you are to die, and there your esteemed chariots are to be the shame of your master's house. So, this is another picture of Yah picking the people up and throwing them back down. These are all the sinners. The other one, the next verse, chapter and verse I have is Job 27:20 through 22. So let's go to Job 27. And it starts in, yeah, 20 through 22. But I'm going to go to 23. Alarms overtake him like a flood. A storm wind shall steal him away in the night. The east wind takes him away, and he is gone, for it sweeps him from his place. And it hurls itself against him and does not spare. He swiftly flees from its power. It claps its hands at him, and it hisses him out of his place. So again, what I'm seeing here is that man is being overtaken, he's being lifted up, and he's being tossed. So that's what I had in connection um, with this event. And then this morning, it occurred to me that what is it going to look like when Hasatan is tossed out of heaven? Well, he's going to be coming out of the north. He is going to be, he is literally going to be thrown out through the north. And what I'm thinking that we may see is that when he's thrown out from the north, he comes through the firmament and he inadvertently touches the holy ground of the north. So I don't know. I know a few of you have seen a picture that I drew where the where the top of the dome comes up, but then it dips down, kind of like a cervix. The Hasatan comes through there, and down at the bottom, you see that's where the ark would be at the very center. And he would come down on top of that, and we would see it. And what's a particular interest to me was that when we were looking at that Economist cover, it showed ice, right? And we saw broken glass. And I'm thinking that that is Hasatan coming down through the firmament. And the people who are most interested in Greenland, Greenland is the closest landmass to the um, central north. So I'm just telling you guys what I'm seeing. Um, I'm just sharing with you what the scriptures are showing me and also what I'm seeing in Stellarium. Um, and let me take you to August. 12th.
I appreciate what you're doing, Christina. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It really is important.
Okay, so let's go to August 12th and let's see what is happening with. Okay, so I'm going to take us to the, all right, so this here is um, the solar eclipse. And yeah, there is an alignment here. Um, but this solar eclipse is something that we're really not going to see. Um, what Linda was able to show, or at least let me know from her understanding, is that Greenland is going to see this full eclipse.
It supposedly, according to time and date, we will be able to observe a partial eclipse on this date at 2:52 Eastern Daylight Time. So,
Okay. And we've got Mercury and we've got Jupiter here. What is missing from here? There is no dragon. Okay, that was one of the things that I immediately looked for scripturally. I've even looked in the calendar, and this isn't a prescribed prophecy that I've seen in scripture. But this is something that they are telling us. So I would still pay attention to it, of course, because they may be uh, performing their own miracles, right? Performing their own signs. So I just want you guys to see that. I mean, this is just what I'm thinking, what where where my brain is going.
Just
And
a just a real quick thought that hit me. Do
mhm,
crabs have blue blood? Remember how we looked into that?
yes, they do.
Well, that's interesting that Jupiter's in a crab, if you know,
Right, right.
and that points to Nephilim, right?
Yep. So we may be looking at the beast's prophecy, the beast's miracles or
Yeah,
wonder and sign.
right.
Christina,
Uh-huh.
can you go to into Castor's leg and zoom in to, yeah, down. Yeah, by his heel. I mean, that dragon thing is there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's there in the heel.
Wow.
Yep.
It's kind of like a different angle. It's like we can see the right eye this time of the dragon, right?
And,
Yeah.
and another thing is we wanted to share, I think we talked about this, how those twins are dual, and that can represent the beast and the false prophet or the two righteous
Prophets.
prophets.
Yes.
It's this for everything. So I
So it makes you wonder so if the beast and the false prophet are doing their own miracles, and then the two final prophets, of course, will be going up against them this whole time. So it's like a war between those.
It basically is when you think about it.
Yeah.
It is a war.
Dominique has a comment. Um, Chew the meat, spit out the bones. YouTube channel below the shofar or blow the shofar. He has a video called Revelation in the Stars. His date was wrong and he's wrong on the calendar. However, some of his thoughts on Jupiter, the twins, etc. is interesting. If anyone wants to watch, maybe you have some puzzle pieces and maybe he has some too. Just a thought. Definitely
Yeah,
look into that.
yeah,
Blow the shofar. Thank
mhm,
you, Dominique.
yeah. I think what's interesting too is we've got Mars over here too.
If
Well,
you
we've got the dragon at the heel.
Dominique, if you know the name of this specific video that you're referring to, or like keywords that we could look for to try to find it, that would be helpful.
Right. And if you happen to be on band or something, or even in this chat, maybe you could post it into
Oh,
the,
Revelation in the Stars. We got it already. Thank you.
oh, awesome. Okay, I don't think there's anything else here for me to show, but that is just what I came across after our Wednesday meeting we had. I was just really blown away by it.
Oh, and one other thing to add, Christina, that so I watched the video about from that mud flood guy, and he said the last time something was ejected from Jupiter, um,
Oh, it was Venus. Venus
yes,
was birthed from Jupiter, and that happened at the flood.
there you go.
Yep.
So every time it happens, it's like a cataclysm on Earth, and it's the Yah is moving into another age of his plan. So I thought that was interesting because he's definitely bringing cataclysms at the end times and is definitely moving into another age, right? The millennial reign.
Right, and that's why they're so busy right now building themselves bunkers because they're thinking they're going to survive into the millennial reign.
Right.
What was birthed the last
Ve-
time?
Venus.
Thank you.
And and people, and this fella, it's amazing. He sees all this, but he still thinks they're real planets. I mean, he still believes in globe Earth and the solar
He
system.
he literally has a globe like in the background of on his dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're so close,
Yeah.
right? They're so close. But I don't know. I'm just glad that this information is out there. And the thing is, academia just literally shoots him down. They literally shoot him down. And even NASA and the other space technology places, they do not like to agree about the electric universe. So, yeah.
John
Um,
Tracy want to know if he ever speaks about Orion. I wonder.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Orion. I what I do understand is this information because they started looking into the history of mythology. It's actually history. This mythology that they've turned into something that is unreal and unbelievable is actually our history. And
And it's the story of the fallen angels
yes,
and Nephilim ruling.
yes,
So
yep.
wait, real quick, Tracy. There I just searched and it if you Scorpius was sent by Gaia to kill Orion and Typhus. That's one of the 6 months ago he created that video on Mud Fossil University.
Thanks, Linda.
But he's the fellow that believes, there's all these fossilized mountains that look like Nephilim and giant animals, and he's proven out that they really were alive at one point. So we agree with him on that stuff. I just wanted to warn everybody, if you do go over there and watch some of his stuff, he doesn't understand flat Earth, which is mind blowing, but
Maybe he will one day.
oh yeah,
I've
I'm
watched
sure he
him for
will.
years, and he had a lot of very good information.
Oh yeah, and I'm saying don't discount what he does say because of that. Just trying to,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's something.
it is.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to me what we're being shown. Um, I I can't deny what I see, and I firmly believe in scriptures. I believe in all of what the prophets are telling us. I believe very firmly we are going into the tribulation.
Oh
We're
yeah,
going to start seeing it.
yeah. Well, I mean, and it's cranking up, right? He
Mhm.
keeps talking about um, Cuba, Iran, Greenland. It's just, it's mind blowing that people think, okay, yeah, this is just going to return to be normal.
Mm.
No. Colombia, right? He's listing Colombia as another one he's going after. Cuba, I might already said that. Anyway, no. This is gonna conflagrate into a huge mess.
Have you found any scripture that Trump's the guy that's gonna be the one world leader?
You know, I still kind of I mean, I'm not gonna try to tell you I know who the beast is. I have no idea.
Hmm.
Um, he's not off the table, but I still kind of think he might think he's gonna be, but I'm wondering if they're just playing him and using him to help bring about the one that will be, and then he gets destroyed.
Ah, it's because he's definitely working around on that. I mean,
Right.
he said Venezuela that they were going to take control until the powers could be put back into place or whatever. And so and it's just like one thing after another,
Yeah. And
you know.
then well I'll read it to you guys, but I keep going back to this in Daniel. Let me see if I can find it. Um but it's in Daniel, it kind of gives you an outline of what we should expect. I should have written it down, but um okay. Go
Chapter
ahead.
7? No, I'm just
Yeah.
suggesting chapter 7.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah, chapter 7 in verse 24. Well, start in verse 23. So the beast system, right? I think the beast system is already among us. But it says, the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on earth, which shall be different from all the other kingdoms. So he's pointing back to that statue. The head of gold was Nebuchadnezzar, and then it comes down to the feet and toes, partly of iron, partly of clay, right? That's the last kingdom, which is different from all the other kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth. So all the other kingdoms weren't necessarily actually world ruling, but this one will be. Trample it and break it in pieces. So this last beast system is going to trample and break the entire world into pieces. But here's what I was talking about. The 10 horns are 10 kings who shall arise from this kingdom, and another shall rise after them. So this is the beast. We'll keep reading. He shall be different from the first ones and shall subdue 3 kings. So I think this is just my guess. I think Trump might be one of the three kings he subdues, and then he takes over, right? And so this he is the great horn, but and you keep going in verse 25, and he, now this is the beast, shall speak pompous words against the Most High, shall persecute the saints of the Most High, and shall intend to change times and law, and the saints shall be given into his hand for a time, times, and half a time. So that is interesting how the 10 kings come on the scene, and then there's another one that comes after, and he's different from all of them and shall subdue three of those original 10 kings. So
I'm
just something to keep in mind.
I'm kind of wondering who the kings are. You know they're assembling right now.
So,
And
so who would you guys say the biggest power is in Ham's territory? Would you say it's Putin, or would you say it's China or North Korea? Like, who would you say?
Probably China.
China. And then what about in Ham's territory, or in Shem, or that's Shem's territory. What
that's
about
Shim's territory.
Ham's?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming Trump is the biggest in
Jacob.
Japheth. So what
Yeah.
about Ham? Who's the biggest?
They keep saying Egypt in scripture, but
Right.
who? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. They're moving powerhouses around right now.
yeah.
They're assembling themselves. And
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
like
know.
alignments and stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
arrangements outside of what we can see, but just
And then I always think, you have folks like uh, Elon
Mhm.
Musk. He's not really a king, but I think he could be one of these kings, right?
they're really, if you think about it, over the whole world, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those, yeah.
So my thoughts are, have we really seen anybody come on the scene that's different, that people will look at differently? I don't think we're going to see him or be introduced to him until this 1290 event. I think Satan doesn't give him his power until he's been tossed to the earth. But we'll see. And then we should officially see him by the 1260 because he's been given over rule at that point.
Yeah.
And this is the one that they wander after the beast, who's like the beast. Yeah, he's
Exactly.
the one that's charismatic, and everybody's gonna think, "Woo, this guy.
Yeah. And
He's gonna
he's the
fix it all."
And he's gonna, so we know war has to conflagrate before 1290 also, right? And what's weird is in that Economist cover, if you look at it as a clock going around, the mushroom cloud starts first. Then you have the lightning or the comet being tossed out of heaven, and then you have the glass shattering. So he's going to come on the scene and look like a peacemaker, right? I still kind of think that's how it's going to roll out. And that's why everybody's going to be just enamored with him. And it's not Trump. Trump's causing the wars, basically.
And
Just just
while at the same time they're after the bride. So
right,
we got things going on at the same time.
right.
When was that Economist cover? Do you know? Was that last year?
It's actually we can
January,
throw
isn't
it
it?
up again. It's been recent. It was the Economist cover, the most recent one.
Oh, January then.
It has an eyeball on it.
The World Ahead, 2026.
Thank you.
That's 2026. That's
Yeah.
the most recent one.
Yeah, no, there's another one.
This one here.
Yeah, hey, Christina, can you share real fast that latest Economist
Yeah,
cover?
I did
Yep.
have a hard time searching for it also. So
Yep.
yeah.
So let me do this.
Tracy was the first one to share that.
Yeah, Tracy put it on Discord.
Somebody had shared it on one of the things that I look at on Facebook, one of the Yahuwah groups that I will sometimes look at what they have posted, and they posted it. Actually, you know what though? I think it may have been on Truth Unedited on Facebook, actually, on his site.
There it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the one on the right.
yeah, this is the economy cover here.
Yeah.
I don't even know how anybody in the world could understand this. This is pretty complicated. It's got a lot of symbology in it.
Oh yeah. Well, you can
Holy
tell
mackerel.
2026 is not going to be good. I think you can
No.
figure that out from it. But
The
you see
all-seeing eye.
the
Yep.
mushroom cloud, okay. And then you
Uh-huh.
see a comet, and then you right after it, and then you see glass shattering and then water. So we know the firmament, there's waters above the firmament. So
Right.
when he's tossed out, if he crashes through the firmament right there, there's literally going to be water coming in. And it's interesting that Revelation 12 says a flood will come after the woman. So I think y'all
Mm.
means literal and spiritual, right?
Right. And when you look at the eye, when you
Oh,
think
you should
about
see.
it, he's coming down through the center, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where Yah's throne is located. It's in the center up in the firmament. And so Hasatan coming down like lightning, right? He's going to come down and he'll hit the very center, the mountain,
The
the
North Pole is not a pole, but you get the drift.
Well, it's the Black Rock. It's the Negra.
Yes. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Rupus Negra.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
that's where Santa Claus comes from, no
Isn't
less.
that interesting? Huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we're working on the DNA. We're cloning. We're doing all these weird things with the
Yeah,
DNA.
we kind of think that's where the mark of the beast, because the ultimate mark of the beast, we do think is going to turn people from human to remember, right? Their fourth revolution, what do you call that? Anyway, they're trying to transhumanize humans, where they're part human, part machine.
Mm.
And
Fourth industrial revolution.
thank you, Anne. That's
Yes,
it.
thank you.
And and that's scriptural too. If you go to Daniel, and here it is in scripture, Daniel 2, verse 42, and it says, and as the toes of the feet were partly of iron, and that this nanoparticle is iron oxide, iron partly of clay, and he says clearly men are made from dust of the earth or clay. So the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly fragile. And then verse 43, here's the kicker. As you saw iron mixed with ceramic clay, they will mingle with the seed of men, but they will not adhere to one another, just as iron does not mix with clay. The they there will mingle with the seed of men, so they cannot be the seed of men. I think somehow that's angel DNA mixing. They're trying to mix it, and that's what that mark of the beast is, transhumanism. Just
Yeah.
throwing that out there. But
What was that again, Mitzi? Daniel, what? Sorry.
yeah, no problem. Daniel 2, verses 42 and 43.
Thank you.
And what's interesting, the 42, the beast rules for 42 months.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Beast rules 42 months. Mm.
So all this stuff kind of comes together.
It always does. You don't want to continue on that? Keep going on that. There's a lot there. Wow.
Oh, yeah, there is. And then, and I do want to reiterate that mushroom cloud, guys, here, I do believe they're gonna start war here soon, and they're gonna claim people are throwing nuclear warheads. They're gonna show this mushroom cloud, but believe you me, it's just a fear tactic. Nuclear weapons do not exist. They can make mushroom clouds out of TNT. All bombs make mushroom clouds. That does not, but they've implanted that in people's minds that when they see a mushroom cloud, they immediately think nuclear weapon, but all that is not true. Now, I'm not
And
saying that they have some very powerful weapons, but this nuclear stuff is not true.
And think about all the AI, right? That is showing up in people's videos, how they're changing their videos by using AI to create for them. So they will have the ability to create this mushroom cloud if they can't actually do it. So everybody will be watching it on TV.
Hmm. What
So,
about that device that got those people into Venezuela? And one of the newscasters on Fox, I think it was, he had experienced this in 2013, where he stood in front of this weapon, I guess it was, and he let them shoot it at him. And he said it was like my body went to 1,000 degrees. And there were, I think Wayne shared with me that there were some soldiers that didn't get annihilated by it, but they did get affected. And that's how they got in there using this weapon. And it's not new, it's been around for a while and nothing new under the sun, but they used that to get into Venezuela.
Yeah, and I think it's an electromagnetic weapon.
Right.
like
Okay.
like a microwave. And a lot of people claim all these 5G towers are not for communication at all, but they're all weapons. They just hadn't used them yet.
Well,
and
they
you
used
know,
them on the weather.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, on us
On us,
physically.
yeah.
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 but I was just thinking too that that DNA symbol that they put over the top of the shape of the man, I actually think that that has to do with the electromagnetics and
Oh,
not
do you?
necessarily DNA.
Okay.
They will be using that on people. I mean, we're made of what?
Water?
We are made of water, yes. But imagine all of this stuff, the what people have uh what they've taken in, whether we've breathed it, we've eaten it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
so
Nanoparticles.
All the
right,
toxins and everything.
Yeah.
right. So I guess this is the reason it's really good for us to detox as best we can. So
I'm sorry, Christine, I didn't follow that. You say it's good to eat toxins?
no, we need to detox.
Oh, I thought you said eat toxins the best we can. And I'm like, I'm
No,
sorry.
no, no, no.
My hearing is going. Forgive me.
No worries.
Mhm.
No, we definitely want to be detoxing for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
It's like when you can, if you eat a little bit of the poison every day, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? Where you can, I don't know, tolerate it in bigger doses.
Yep.
Anyway, that's not what Christine is suggesting.
No,
So,
and I wouldn't want to do that either. There's enough stuff that comes in even when you're trying not to.
well, actually, that's how they've been doing that to us anyway. They've been slowly poisoning our food and we've just become used to it, and they don't tell us about the parasites. oh, people don't get parasites. Well,
Yeah, they do.
we know that that is false.
Mhm.
So, but that's about all I've got. So,
Would you want to get back into second Esdras?
yes, we can. And are we in chapter 7 or are we still in 6? I don't think we got through all of,
We didn't finish the chapter. I do remember that.
I think we were, yeah, I can't remember where we were at.
I've got March 2nd, Esdras 6:37.
Okay, that's where we left off then. That's where my bookmark was.
Hey, Linda, you want to stop recording and then start another one? I think Linda might have dropped off. Or I don't think she dropped off. There she is.
Oh, she says be right back.
Okay.
We'll give her a minute. Yeah, there was something else that I saw since we're just waiting right now. I was reading Jubilees and I found Yah's 9/11 in Jubilees. That night, Yaakov took his family and they crossed the Yabok River. And at that night, that during that night, he fought or he wrestled with, I believe it was Yahusha. He
I do
wrestled him
too.
in the night. And he was given, on that night of 9/11, he was given the name Israel. And then that day, and then going into the next day, which now I think was 9/12, he went to go see Esau. And he was afraid because Esau had brought like 400 men with him. But I got to thinking, 9/11, do you do you think that Yah is calling out Israel? Do you think he's beginning to call out Israel?
Christina, what was the
I think
verse
so.
in
Um,
Jubilee?
okay, hold up. Let me grab Jubilees because, oh goodness, I was reading it yesterday and I was like, really?
It might be in 29 because 29:13 it says
Yep,
Jacob dwelt in tents.
yep. And he passed over Jabbok in the 9th month on the 11th thereof. And on that day, Esau, his brother, came to him, and he was reconciled to him, and departed from him unto the land of Seir. But Yaakov dwelt in tents. So this is kind of like telling me, oh, wait a minute, if they're dwelling in tents, they must be on the move. Um, we also see this in Genesis 32:22. So if we go to Genesis 32:22. It
Wait, go,
says,
sorry, Christina, before we go on from there, are you going to go back to where Jacob in Jubilees is wrestling with, I also agree it's Yahusha?
it just only says here in chapter 29 verse 13. That's all that it says in that verse. And so I was able to connect it to Genesis 32:22.
Got it. Thank you.
And I'm gonna read it to the end. And which is really cool because 32:22 to 32.
Wow.
Yeah. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 female servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford of Jabbok. That's the river. And that river means, or that word is H2999. It means pouring forth. And then when you break it down and you take it to the root word, it is H1238, which is bakak, and it means to empty, depopulate, spread out. Going into verse 23, and he took them and sent them over the stream and sent over what he had. And Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. And when he saw that he did not overcome him, he touched the socket of his hip, and the socket of Jacob's hip was dislocated as he wrestled with him. And he said, "Let me go, for the day breaks." But he said, "I am not letting you go until you have blessed me." So he asked him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Yaakov." And he said, "Your name is no longer called Yaakov, but Israel, because you have striven with Elohim and with men and have overcome." And Yaakov asked him, saying, "Please let me know your name." And he said, "Why do you ask me about my name?" And he blessed him there. And Yaakov called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen Elohim's face to face, and my life is preserved. And the sun rose on him as he passed over Penuel, and he limped on his hip. That is why the children of Israel to this day do not eat the sinew of the hip, which is on the socket of the thigh, because he touched the socket of the thigh of Jacob in the sinew of the hip. And so I was reading this. This was also last night, and I thought, what if Yah has started to call the remnant out, and he called them out? He's starting to call them out on the 28th of November. That's Yah's date of 9/11. Is he starting to call them out? I think he is. And these are the ones that are going to overcome. They got to go through it, but Yah will protect them through it.
Christina, you did not by any chance do a count from 9/11 to 11/1, did you?
I did not. It didn't occur to me. It didn't occur to me to count that. But go for it, because I think that would
Well,
be
nine
very
11
interesting.
in the ninth month, you got 9/11 to 31. So that's 20 days. And then the 10th day, you have 30 days. So there's 50, right?
Do you want-
And then 11/1 is the next day.
It's 59 days, if my count's correct.
11, 10, 9/11 to 11/1.
Mm-hmm. I was just counting to 1335. 7, 2.
Wait a minute, 9/11, right?
Yeah, so you'd have
9/11.
you'd
Yeah.
have 20 days left in the ninth month.
51, is that right? Guys,
Yeah.
I'm a terrible counter.
Yeah, I think there's 50 days in between, which is interesting because 50, right, is a Jubilee number.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep, 50 days.
50 days and then 1335 is 51.
Yeah, yeah. And I just threw this out to you guys today. I'm kind of thinking 1335. Not that Yah doesn't have duality, but I'm wondering if he has kind of sealed out, or they blessed are those who have come to the 1335. I wonder if he's speaking of the second Exodus, folks,
Well,
right?
I was thinking duality here,
Yeah,
1335 for the bride at the beginning, and then 1335 for the remnant when they have come to the end of it. They are blessed for sure
yeah,
because they've lived through it.
No, it
The
may-
1335, the bride has made her decision, right?
right, right, right. Right. And the second Exodus folks are about to get
They're
going.
just getting going and they
Yeah,
make it to the 1335. Yeah.
right, right. Yeah.